Hi everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is a little bit different to stuff that I normally put out on my channel, but as you guys could probably tell, I have been kind of bending my variety in my channel and like moving around a little bit and having a bit of fun with my content. I got a little bit bored of, I feel like I put myself in a bit of a hole with my content where I felt like I couldn't produce any of the content or I couldn't put out any of the content that I wanted to. So I have recently been kind of mentally dissolving that barrier, because if you guys scroll down to my very first YouTube video ever from 3 years ago, you'll see that I actually wanted this channel to be a channel where I could produce whatever I wanted to. It could have a mixture of vlogs, makeup, project pan, and everything like that on it. I saw Jack Edwards film this similar video on his second channel called Jack in the Books. He did a video where he showed the entire of his physical TBR. Now this video is kind of like in two parts, so you'll see me in two different locations. So the first location is of course where I am right now, which is in front of my uni shelves. So this is what my uni bookshelf is looking like. I have brought majority of my unread books to the uni house because obviously I want to bring my unread books to be able to read them. But I wanted to go through and show you guys all the books that are on my physical TBR. I'm going home this weekend, and because of that I can finish the second half of this video at home and do the second half of my unread TBR that is at home still, that I haven't brung down to uni. Oh no, found it. But I thought I would start off with the books that I am technically currently reading, which doesn't really count as unread, but I thought I would show you guys them quickly because technically they aren't read either. This is Invisible Girl by Jewell. This one is kind of like a thriller book. I'm currently also reading Laura Olympus by Rachel Smith. I love this. This is the second volume. You can read this online as well for free, but I personally am trying to read it on the hardback editions. The third volume comes out in October. And I bought this in Barnes & Nobles when I was in America, and I was so happy to see this there. Moving on to the ones that I had hidden in this box here. So I had some mass market paperbacks. So I had Stephen King's The Green Mile. This one I really do want to read this one, but I have like a love-hate relationship with Stephen King. Yeah, I got this one from a charity shop. Then I also have two Tess Gretterson books. I have Bloodstream and then Under the Knife. I believe these are the two that are standalones. She does have a longer series that follows like the same characters. The one that was hidden in that box is this one here, and this is the Butterfly box. I believe it's more of a romance book. Then before I forget, I want to bring up this one because this is now part of my physical TBR. My niece just gave me this to read. If you guys didn't know, I am doing a university degree in teaching, primary teaching, so I love to read some middle grade and like young adult books to recommend to my students and children's genre. So this is the one that she has just finished reading. This is Wilder Than Midnight. Then, before I forget, I class this as part of my physical TBR. I know some people don't class it as part of your physical TBR, but I personally count the books that I have already brought on Kindle that are sat on my bookshelf on Kindle as ones that are in my physical TBR. So I'm going to put little screenshots up of what the front covers look like of these books. So I have Once Upon a River by Diane Setterfield. This is a thriller, and again one that I'm still very much interested in reading. Then I have The Guest List by Lucy Foley, which I'm very excited to read because I really enjoyed the other one from her that I read. I think it was A Hunting Party. Along the thriller vibes, I have Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. I've heard amazing things about this thriller and I'm super excited to finally get around to reading it. I'm hoping to read it around this autumn time. The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. I read The Flat Share by her and I did quite enjoy it. It wasn't my favourite romance. I think I ended up giving it like 3 stars. I have Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, which I personally don't think her writing's gonna be for me because I have started this one and I was very much not enjoying the writing style. So we'll see how I'm feeling a little bit later on with that one and if I do end up continuing it. Then I have The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I'm a little bit worried about reading another hyped romance, to be honest. I'm scared that I'm just going to be disappointed, quite frankly. I also have 2 books from the Lunar Chronicles. I read the first 2 books, but then I now have Crest and Winter still that I have not read. Then I have Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I think that is it for Kindle Unlimited, which is really good because at one point I had about 20 romance books on here that I hadn't read, but I recently have gone on a romance binge. Now I guess we should move on to these lovely shelves behind me. So I think I'm going to start off with this top shelf up here because I can kind of piece this one together really quickly. The first book that you guys probably saw up there was this big chunky book here. This is a hardback edition. This is House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas. I have not read this yet. And truly, look at this art, guys. I just had to show you guys these end papers are absolutely insanity. They are so So stunning. I pre-ordered this on Amazon actually, that's a lie. I did pre-order it on Amazon. Then 2 thrillers that I haven't read. These both were sourced in charity shops. Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. This one sounds really, really interesting and also quite a desolate, murdery plot, hopefully. Got Little Deaths by Emma Flint. Yeah, this one again was from a charity shop. This one here is the only book besides Lore Olympus that I brought when I was in Barnes & Nobles in America that I have not read yet. It's the only one out of I think the 5-6 books that I brought when I was there. This is Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. It is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. This is one that got recommended to me to read. I also have Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. Both of these were from charity shops, and you've got these beautiful penguin classic like little sides. Then I have Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray. This one again I really want to read. Apparently it's a very good one. It's about a man who does not age but his painting does. This was purchased from Waterstones, I do believe. Then the next one was also purchased from Waterstones, and this is Crime and Punishment. Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware and The Chain by Adrian McKinty. Both of these I'm still really excited to get around to reading. Both of these were brought from Waterstones on a buy one get one half price sale. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This one again, look at this beautiful edition. The Adventure of the Sick Napoleons and Other Cases by Arthur Conan Doyle. I'm very excited for this, and it seems to be quite an investigative one. Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I got this in a charity store. It's a very old school cover. Again, got this from charity and very excited to read this because I did read Pride and Prejudice last year and really enjoy it. I'm going to quickly put those back on the shelves and then we'll move on to this second shelf down. Okay, so as you can see, I thought we'd start off with the stack because otherwise it's going to be very difficult to put all these books back. I have The No by Martina Cole. I have Broken Monsters by Lauren Bukes. A Killer Who Will Tear You Apart. Ooh. This is interesting me this again. My boyfriend actually tried this out when we were in a charity store and it sounds absolutely incredible. That's how come I ended up buying it. Then I have The Institute by Stephen King. This one was sourced from Waterstones, I believe. And is The Castaways by Lucy Clark. This one I sourced from this one was from a charity bookshop as well. I have Ninth House by Lee Bardugo. I have Drop Shot by Harlan Coben. Again, this gives me similar vibes to Tess Greston. It's very easy read. And then I have this one. I was very excited to find this in the charity shop, and that is Verity by Colleen Hoover. This has so much talk generated around this at the moment. It's at the top of this stack for that exact reason. Okay, so now I'm going to start pulling from this shelf behind me. I have Stephen King Misery. This one sounds really good. I sourced this from Waterstones. The Split by Sharon Bolton. This one came from The Works, I believe. I have The Switch by Beth O'Leary. Then I have Adele by Sean Smith. Then we have Throne of Glass, and I'm not sure if I sourced this from Amazon or if I sourced it from Waterstones, but it was one or the other. Then the next 3 along are all like thriller/crime thrillers. So I have another Tess Gretson. I have Presumed Guilty, How the Dead Speak by Val McDermid. I got this one from, this one was charity shop. This one is from Waterstones. And then the Chestnut Man as well. These were buy one get one half price as well. We have The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This is like a fantasy. I have another children's/middle grade book. This is The Land of Raw by Jenny McLaughlin. Funny by Mona Awad. Right, and then the last 3 books that are unread on my TBR that I have at the university house are The Roommate by Rosie Dannon, A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas, Meet Me in Tahini by Georgia Tolofo, and those are all of the unread books that I currently have at my university.
Yeah, it was a
she
good
fell off the
video.
chair. It was quite funny.
I watched it. I
was proud of my editing, so I didn't know how to put stuff in slow-mo at that time, so I put it in slow-mo and I was so gassed.
So what actually happened? Did she miss a seat or did the
I don't know, I think she just wasn't sat on the seat properly and she just fell off. I'll link the video that I'm talking about in the description below. We have Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I'm not actually 100% sure what this is about. I have A Demon in My View by Ruth Rendell. Got this from the charity shop for 50p. Again, this is like a really short one, so I don't really have an excuse for not reading it. I have 17th Suspect by James Patterson and Maxine Petro. Then I have Stephen King's Desperation. The reason why I haven't read this one is I have like very mixed reviews about Stephen King. So I've given one of his books 5 stars, I've given one of them 2 stars. Stephen King's Pet Sematary. This one was actually one that was my Sisters. I have The Appeal by Janice Hallett. I thought this one was going to be so fun. I got this from a charity shop as well, but I have got up to page 33 in this one, which is written all in emails. This is one that I know my housemate Fifi is curious about, so I might actually just give this to her to read because I can't get along with it. Then I have Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I have technically read, let's have a look, 105 pages of this. I have The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Then I've got a book which I think a lot of people might crucify me for not reading already, because I own a limited edition Waterstones cover hardback of this book, and that is The Invisible Life of Adia LaRue by V.E. Swab. This is Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. Okay, the next one I didn't really want to count as a TBR thing because this is something that I brought more as like nostalgia. It's A World of Winnie the Pooh. It was in a charity shop in London, wasn't it? Before, with these beautiful illustrations, and Winnie the Pooh / Tigger was my childhood, so I have a lot of sentimental value with these characters, and I just think the illustrations really make it even more special. Is The Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. Another couple that were like family books that I ended up putting on my bookshelf, so ultimately I still need to read, especially like borderline being decluttered. James Patterson, Till Martyr Do Us Part. Prayer for the Dead by James Oswald. Death to Jewell by Kathy Rinks. Then these ones I got from charity shops. I got Blood Orange by Harriet Trice. Got Perfect Silence by Helen Fields. I have The Serial Killer's Wife by Alice Hunter. I have Silence for Good by Alex Coombs. Deep Fear by Rachel Lynch. And moving on to the last three, and then I've got to explain the next five. I have Lord Lost by Darren Shawn. I have Dear Life by Rachel Clark. I will probably get round to this, but I've heard very, very, very negative reviews about it. Today, I brought a book series from the works. 5 main books in the series. I think there's another 2 main books as well. I think it's something like Imagine Me and then Unite Me, I think, is what the last 2, and then you've got little mini books that go in between these books. I'm going to show you guys the covers as I explain why I want to reread these. I want to reread these because I didn't read the whole complete series when I was younger. I remember being obsessed with this series, so it was always a series that I wanted to go back to anyway. I never personally own the books though, my elder sister does, so these are just my own copies. And I never read the short stories that were intended to go in between, so I'm going back and I'm revisiting the series because I never read the last 3 books in the series, like the main books, and I never read the books that came in between. So I'm really excited to finally finish this whole series and read the whole series again, and loads of people that I watch have been loving this series, so I'm hoping it'll take me back to like the childhood, like obsessed with a series kind of read, where you just kind of read the whole series over and over, like you basically like read every book one after another, which really excites me. And this was also really inspired by Hayley Pham on YouTube. She has turned her blog channel into a book channel, and she was obsessed with this series and read it like back to back pretty much and loved it. So I've got up to Define Me, which is book 5. And like I said, I'm pretty sure there's another 2 books. And those are all of the books that I currently own that are unread on my TBR, so on my bookshelves that are unread. That is everything for today's video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and would like to see more videos from me. And I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Bye!